is going on, Rotogrinders? Dean here. It's Dean 7904 if you want to get all technical on me. It's actually 6:03 on the East Coast, 3:03 on the West Coast, 5:03 Tennessee time, of course. Of course, it's time of the flagship show here at Rotogrinders. It's called Grinderslive. Joining me today, it's Friday. It's a three-man booth. Somehow we got Head Chopper to make an appearance. A millionaire Head Chopper. We're excited to have you on here talking some. Normally, you only work one day a week as far as the basketball chop, the OG show.
Dean, that's that's kind of like you set me up there. I do one show per week for Grinderslive. Yes, in the afternoon, but there's much more behind the scenes going on there, Dean.
Tell the people what kind of premium content. If they're not aware, we have a couple things to drop in chat, but let's just let them know if they're not aware about this. If you do premium content, they want to get your premium content. They can get $10 off their first month a la carte, just one sport, maybe basketball or all the sports. You can get $10 off all those sports with the exception of NASCAR. Tell them what you do, and hey, they can get your content for $10 off the first month.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dean, I do some the lineup HQ tags on a couple times a week. We do that on, I believe that's Monday and Thursday. And then I'd have to pull up my calendar because I just go by my do the expert rankings. I got them out there on Wednesday. I got them out there today on all three sites today. So you can get that. And then we can talk about that. I got to update that after the show, by the way. And then we do this show. I do the show on Wednesday with the OGs, Notorious and Beer. We've got the expert survey today, the expert survey on Wednesdays. So I got to update that too with the late breaking news we just got before the show, which I barely got time to prep for, but we're good to go. So yeah, several things a week throughout the day, but you don't want, my content is fine. It's there. You know, I'm a workhorse. I get up early in the morning. I knock it out. The guy you want is the third man in the booth here. This guy we call him Kid Yahoo. This is the man right here. When guys like me get up to do research, we go to Kirk Deese's articles first.
Okay, Kirk Deese, or AKA Kid Yahoo. Is that what we're here? That's not, you just made that up. Nobody calls him that. Let's be honest.
Oh yes, a lot of people call me that.
I feel like you're too old to be Kid Yahoo.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know exactly.
What a low blow! God, Jesus.
I'm just thinking, if you're Kid Yahoo, you got to be like 26 or under. And you're
it's
not
like
26.
Daniel Negreanu is Kid Poker.
Yeah. At a certain point, he's no longer. He's middle-aged poker.
Difference? No, but he's still Kid Poker.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think we have to retire that name at some point. By the way, you know what you are today? You are, well, I don't want to say kid Top Shot. You are middle-aged. You're 30-year-old Top Shot, give or take. Yeah, we're going to open a Top Shot packet in a second, and Devin's going to go ahead and drop a link in chat, and you guys got a chance to win yourself. Dan Bach, DB, is donating. If you guys can guess 3 of the 5 comments that actually appear, the link's going to drop in chat for you guys. What up, chat? Feel free to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Of course, it's a 9-game slate. We'll talk about the late-breaking news that Chopper was hinting at. We'll knock it all out as far as the body parts, who's in, who's out, who we're monitoring. But you're going to open up. You were lucky enough, and I was too. We were both blessed. And no shenanigans. I don't have any uncles or aunts or brothers or sisters or, I had one account. I just got lucky. It's been a while since I had a pack, but I have one too. You're opening a Top Shot pack. We're going to be doing about 10 or 15 minutes or so. And the Twitter link's going to be dropped there in chat for the people. Go ahead and just throw out 3 names and guess who's going to be on there. If you hit it, 3 of the 5, I believe a Killian Hayes moment, which is like 1 of 4,000, will be given to you, gifted to you from Dan Bach. Are we excited about this? Well, what's the street value of this pack? Like $1,000 or something like that, give or take?
Originally it was a $2,000 EV value. We'll see what I open up here, but after every pack drop, the prices, people start putting up their moments, especially guys with their first pack. They just want to make a quick buck, so the prices come down. So prices are down a little bit today, but that's usual. I was expecting that, but I'm a man of the people, Dean. I'm opening my pack. I actually came up with the idea. I said, I'm going to sit on this. Chop was like, let's bust this open right now. I can't wait to see what you get. I was like, I'm going to hold this. I think it'd be great to do on Grinderslive. I got on the phone. I talked to Chop. Chop then hits up Dan Bach, and he's like, let's give away a $500 moment. So we got it done. And then we're like, Dean has a pack. What's Dean going to do with his pack? Is Dean going to open it up on air? Is Dean going to do any kind of giveaway or anything like that? I don't know. So what do you?
Well, the conversation was you guys assumed I already opened it. That there's no chance I had any patience, and I just told you guys I'm okay with delaying gratification. I've yet to open mine. Maybe I'll do it later tonight and throw it up on Twitter or something like that. I have no idea. But I'm also a man of the people that I gave away a couple moments shameless plug. Check out my Twitter account. It's not very difficult to find.
So then you do a plug.
Well, I just announced it. That's the whole point of saying shameless plug, because there it is. They find my Twitter. And
So
have
you
at
want
it.
a man of the people. You didn't just do it for the people. You're doing it for your Twitter account is what you're doing it for.
You know what? What is it? I scratch your back, you scratch mine, that kind of thing. Is there a saying for that?
I mean,
rising
basically, if
tide?
you do, it's kind of like pay it forward. If you do good,
Yeah.
something, it's going to happen in return. I wouldn't demand it.
I didn't demand it.
I don't know. Chop, what do you think? What do you think?
I'm in no way demanding
See,
anything.
you know, it's a little bit hypocritical. I don't even know if hypocritical is the word, but you know, it's just it's one of those things, Dean. When you if you expect something in return, then it's not really coming from the right place.
I'm giving a whatever. So we're gonna do that in a few minutes. Body parts. Who's in? Who's out? Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. They are both questionable. That's a big deal if they don't go. Dennis Schroeder is back from his COVID protocol. He is available for the Lakers late game tonight. Dual prong hammer. 2 games at 10 o'clock. I believe game 7 is 8 o'clock. So you have like a 2-hour break if you want to play like wait for news kind of thing. Plan appropriately. Memphis, Justice Winslow's not playing basketball tonight. Jonas Valanciunas has a thigh, so he's questionable. Devontae Graham is out for Charlotte still. Cody Zeller's got a hip, so he's doubtful. Sadiq Bey is questionable with his ankle. OKC, Al Horford is old, so he can't play in the first out of a back-to-back. He's out this evening, as is Hamidou Diallo. He's out with a groin. Tyler Halliburton's doubtful. He's got a calf, so he's probably not going to play. And the big one, as you were talking about, Kirk Dees, as you alluded to, we'll talk about it in a second. Pascal Siakam, 7:30 game 2, first tip off there. He's not going to give it a go. I don't know if he was starting lineup just yet. Also worth noting, Nick Nurse, the coach for Toronto, is out, as is like 6 of his coaches. So I don't know who's coaching for Toronto tonight. Maybe Eddie. It's a Whoopi Goldberg reference for the olds out there. Anybody ever see Eddie? There you go. They picked her out of the stands. She started coaching the team. It was fun. Terrible movie. Do not recommend it. Chop's probably been in that red box and rented it once or twice. But talk about it, Kirk Dees. How excited are we about Chris Boucher?
Just giving blow after blow.
Well, Chop he still goes to the red box. I mean, come on. What
Friday night.
I mean, yeah, the Raptors is a huge situation. So we got that just right before lock. Pascal Siakam out. It's all about my man Chris Boucher. And I would buy his top shots. I would play him in all my lineups. He's the lock of the night. Yeah.
What if he doesn't start? I'm assuming he starts, but I asked you this before the show starts. You don't care. You like him either way.
I don't think it matters. So let's say they do throw Baines out there just for show. I don't think they're going to play him big minutes. They haven't been playing him big minutes. So I think it's going to be Boucher. Plus the Rockets play small. Except with their one. What's that guy? Patton.
Justin Patton.
Yeah. But regardless, Boucher can actually bang with all these guys that they have in there. So this is a perfect matchup for him.
Yeah, we saw Baines get a fair bit of run, but that was against Embiid in back-to-back games. And obviously, like Tucker's, got some girth to him, but he's not a big dude necessarily. He's not a natural 5. And you mentioned like Justin Patton. Of course, Boogeyman Cousins is not there anymore either. So in theory, Boucher should be fine. I'm curious who's going to coach this team. I have no idea. I mean, I would think they would just kind of do whatever Nurse wants. They probably talk through like Zoom or something like that the way we're doing, but just kind of something to monitor, I suppose. Chop, your thoughts as far as, and Toronto does have plenty of bodies for what it's worth. They have a lot of dudes, but it does seem like Boucher is going to get there, and he can get there in just 25, potentially 28 minutes. I think we have projected for, I'm going to pull up and see if our projected team has actually changed this, but Chopper, your thoughts as far as Boucher and Toronto as a whole?
Yeah, I had Bobby Boucher penciled in as a 2010 on my survey for the bold takes before the news even broke. So I thought he was going to destroy the Rockets front court because it's just lagging in size right now with the injuries and the departure of Cousins. So this only boosts him up even more. But maybe we can get back to Norman Powell now too. Powell's very good when somebody's out, and he's just kind of middle of the road when everybody's healthy. So maybe this gets Norman Powell back in the mix a little bit. So yeah, that's definitely a team you want to target now.
I'm running some optimal lineups through our lineup HQ. I believe we did update the Toronto situation. I'm just kind of see what we have here. I think the price is a little better on DK for Boucher. Perfectly fine both places, but I think he's 5.6 on DK and like 6.5 on FanDuel. He does thrive in those stocks, so he can kind of get there in FanDuel, get 3 points there instead of the 2 points. Of course, he can also hit threes for a big man and gets that hook 3.5 on DK for every 3. Let's see what we have as far as the minutes. I want to check out what we projected here for Toronto. I'm just saying words to buy time so we can get there. But yeah,
well, you check it out, Dean, and then while we kill some time, I'll let you know that the Tyler Hero's been ruled out. Tyler Hero has been ruled out, so we don't have that to worry about.
So Kendrick Nunn can play like 38 minutes again. What about Bam?
Personally,
he's still questionable, and so I would think that maybe that's a sign that he's actually going to play because they didn't announce him out yet. But
yeah, it's not a great matchup. Obviously, they're against Utah, and Nunn's price has been up a little bit, but he might play 35, 36, 37, 38 minutes or something like that without Hero. We've seen that. And if Bam doesn't go, I guess maybe kind of sort of, Olynyk can be interesting. But again, the matchup is not appealing. Big slate. Utah is not a team you necessarily want to pick on. I suppose there's even some blowout route because Utah's been blowing everybody out. They've been the best team as far as the regular season. LeBron. Are we concerned about LeBron? It's weird because we don't have Giannis. We don't have Embiid. We don't have Jokic. We don't have Harden. We don't have Brooklyn. So there's like not a lot of big spends tonight. We'll talk about some other spends, but LeBron's, without AD, the Lakers have been terrible. That starting lineup, that team looks so bad and so old when Davis is not in the lineup. They are getting Schroeder back, so a little bit of youth, I suppose. Is LeBron a priority for you tonight, Chopper? I feel like this is a good bounce back game. Late game hammer against Portland. Portland's terrible defensively. Feels like a good bounce back spot for, and it's ESPN2 for what it's worth. That does anything for you.
It does feel okay. So it could go one of two ways. Either just like on Wednesday when he played against Utah, it was a very tough game. Like we said, it could go one of two ways. Either they just don't have much in them right now because of the injuries and they're wearing down a little bit before the All-Star break, and it could go south real quick for this guy, or he's going to come out very determined and he's going to put up a monster game just to show people, okay, look, you guys need to chill on the LeBron's getting tired talk. So I guess I would lean with this opponent. I would lean more towards LeBron, but I'm certainly not sold on him right now. I think there's a realistic expectation that this team in general is finally starting to show the effects of having just won a championship a couple of months ago and then having to come back so quickly, and the season starting after very little rest, and he's old, and now Davis is out and he's taking on all this burden. So there's a realistic chance he is kind of wearing down a little bit. I know I hate to say it about LeBron. When you say it, he always busts out with this big game, but there's a possibility that he's a little bit worn down right now.
Kirk D's LeBron thoughts?
I don't think he's a priority. I think he's a great late night hammer GPP play. I think you run it back with Dame and you build some unique lineups that way. You got to jam in a bunch of value to make that happen, but that's the way to play that. He's not a priority, but I mean, Dame, who would you pick, LeBron or Dame? Because Dame's usage has been absolutely bananas for this last little stretch. They're playing smaller, playing some Covington at the 5, which really spaces it well for him to get those threes. Obviously he's always the focus of the defense, but this really opens things up for him. So I don't know. Who would you guys choose between those two?
Well, the Lakers defense takes a big hit, obviously, without Davis as well. I don't know if they're going to start Markieff Morris. He's a guy that, like, if he starts, he's kind of sort of someone interesting on DK at 3.1, but they have plenty of bodies too, even with the absence of Davis. My heart says LeBron. I just always want LeBron whenever I can get LeBron, but maybe Lillard's the sharper play. I don't know. What say you here, Chopper?
Who would I rather take? I would rather take LeBron tonight because my main bit of action will be on FanDuel. And so we got the position eligibility thing, and there's a lot of point guards I can turn to. And LeBron is one of the very few small forwards that I feel comfortable with. So I'd lean towards LeBron. On
FanDuel, LeBron is competing against like Gordon Hayward, who's got a 7.1 price, which is pretty fair. And OG Anunoby, the Toronto being pretty thin. We're projecting him for 34 minutes. Sadiq Bey is questionable. He's also a guy that I think is in play if he does go. It's a legit injury. I was watching him last game where he was trying to power through, but they kind of moved him in and moved him out. And I don't know if he's going to give it a go, but of course the matchup against Sacramento kind of is appealing as well. Depending on where you're shopping, Harry Barnes on DK's got a pretty good price as well too. Let's see. I ran some optimals. Actually, let me just jump back to Toronto because I was talking about it. As far as our projected, we only have Boucher for 23 minutes. I don't know if we have him starting or not, but that seems low. Maybe that's going to change. They're still working on it, and I have to hit the refresh button. But I would take the over on 23 minutes. Would you guys not? And again, that might change if he does start, obviously.
I I would take the over there. I think he plays 25, potentially even more than that. And again, it's the matchup for me too. The Rockets are 30th in opponent blocks per game, dead last, 23rd in opponent steals. It just fits his skill set. He's got this is a matchup that he can actually be successful in, as opposed to when they take him off the court because of defensive struggles. I don't see that happening. There's a wild card here. We don't know who's coaching. I mean, maybe they pick a fan out of the crowd and put him up there like that hockey goalie that happened situation. But
the Zamboni driver or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. That doesn't happen in any other sport. That's so incredible. That's a thing. And the dude won.
I mean, that's all. That was awesome. Yeah.
And he was like the Zamboni driver for the home team, and he played against the team he is a Zamboni driver for. Yeah, not to get too far off the beaten path, but yeah,
you're getting technical here.
Well, hey, you know what? It's not like it's a 9-game slate, and we only have 32 more minutes left. We do not have SBK today, for what it's worth, as far as the projection team. So that segment we're going to save some time with. And how about let's just knock it out? You want to open your pack up, because you're probably that joy.me is probably annoying you. You're linked to shares of people, so. Well, let's build up some suspense. The people probably got their bids in as far as the 3 names. Again, if you get 3 of the 5 correct, Dan Bach's going to gift you guys a rookie moment for Killian Hayes, which I believe is very valuable, despite the fact it doesn't sound like it is. Chop, do you know the projected going rate as of right now off the dome?
I do not, Dean. But before he opens the pack, while he gets it all set up, I would like to say a couple things. We wish Kirky the best of luck on this pack opening. This could be a life changer right here. The way these prices are, you stumble into that one card, you could be retired from RG tomorrow, man. So we wish him the best of luck. I would never wish ill will on anybody, even though during the quarantine, Kirky has come after me with such terms as calling me a clown. One time he changed my name.
I took it back. Did I not take it back?
Is this in the CPC like Discord? Is this what's going on here?
One time he changed my name, Dean, to Head Giver. That was terrible. That hurt me. That hurt. And on a daily basis,
and demonetized.
He makes fun of me for being bald. He makes fun of me.
No, I don't even know if you're bald. I just said the people want to know what's underneath the hat.
And then he deletes the messages like I'm not going to see him. He deletes them all fast like I'm not.
No,
and here I am. I'm defending him against guys like Ladarius out there who are out there.
Oh, man.
I'm defending him. And then we got this, man.
No, all I said, I don't even know if you're bald. All I said is the people want to see. I know you played basketball in the hat. And a lot of people ask me, a lot of Jared Barton, Zaz, they all say, hey, Kirk. They all say, Kirk, we want to see Chop without the hat. So, I mean, that's all. That's all.
Now we got his mini-me in the chat here saying the same thing about the hat. It's just terrible. But the point is, I still wish him the best of luck on this pack opening.
You played basketball in a hat?
I hope to be a millionaire like Chop from this someday. Hey,
man, if your Yahoo account is anywhere near what I saw it was at one day.
You got nothing on Chop's FanDuel account. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm on the podium. I'm third here amongst the 3 of us for sure. But it's a distant third for sure. You mentioned, Chop, you play basketball in a hat. I always think you ever notice the guys that wear like a T-shirt underneath their jersey? I either think they sweat a lot or they're self-conscious. There's a few guys that, like Willie Cauley-Stein wears a T-shirt underneath his jersey. Is that just a weird thing? I think they lack
you're onto
confidence.
Something. I think you're onto something there. I'd have to wear a shirt too underneath my basketball jersey if I played.
You have a sweating issue?
No, it's a body image issue.
Fair enough. I don't know why we're going at this. Hey, open that pack up, Kirkies. What do we have? Let's do a little screen sharing.
Let's hear from producer that we know that it's all right.
Yeah, and feel free to commentate because I don't know if me and Chop are actually watching the video right now.
So we're gonna go to collection.
Yeah.
These are my moments. These things have taken a dive right now. I bought a lot of Siakams at the peak, and now he's out tonight, so that I can't even get tonight. All right, so we go
to Boucher.
Yeah, no, Boucher, I would definitely buy him. He was going for cheap there.
I'd scoop them all if the marketplace wasn't down.
Yeah, if they'd let us buy, Chop and I were ready to pounce today. And I just want to quick before I open this up, I just want to show one moment that I think everybody should invest in. This Marvin Bagley right here is a steal. It's going for 1,050 metallic gold. No, I have one, but that is the best buy. It's for some reason he's forgot about. It's limited. It's Series 1. Everybody.
He's not good.
Yes, he is.
He's not good.
This slander has to end. This is no different than David Montgomery.
He's a good fantasy player, but he's not a good actual basketball player.
He's going to come in and Luke Walton is terrible. Okay, I'll tell you that right now.
I agree on that.
He's going to come into his own. He's going to come out of this. But anyway,
you and his dad are the only ones that believe that.
Let's get to the packs.
He's the one that's touting? He's the one that's tweeting his dad, like tweeting the Kings, like, "Why aren't you playing my son?" or something like that. Wasn't that him? It was dad.
All right, here we go. We got the pack.
All right.
It's a 99 rare. Open. I wish we could get the music going, but
copyright issues. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear you rocking out over there.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. I don't know if that's good or bad. Okay,
nice.
It's just your headphones. What you can't just say nice. Tell us what you got. I'm
all right. So the blue one is going to be the metallic gold. So we're going to save that puppy for the end.
Okay.
We're gonna go reverse here. We're gonna click to reveal numbers. Got a 3-pointer comment. Kevin Durant, KD, right off the bat, bang!
Look at that. You've already made your money back from the pack.
Oh, let's pull it up.
It's good investment.
What I wanted to do is have Chop wear a cowboy hat like Settlement on the Club Top Shot last night, but
do you happen to have one available, Chopper?
But we got Durant. Not. It's a solid pull right there.
Hey Chopper, tell the people what Top Shots is in like 20 seconds or less. The chat's confused.
They're little clips. They're serial number. They're the new collectibles instead of sports cards. If you want to get into Top Shots, that's what it is. It's just little small clips that have serial numbers on them that are selling for a lot of money. 2. What you got?
Bam Adebayo.
Breaking it. This guy's racking up, man. Cleaning house.
According to the chat, that KD's worth 450 smackers.
That's the low right now. The thing's going up. The thing's going to the moon.
What's the serial number on that KD? Because
I gotta check that again.
It's a whole debate with the serial number. It's a whole
serial number is 1894. It's not bad.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
it's not bad.
Look
Bam
at
was 9992.
Oh, that's such a
man.
good
This
number.
Music is getting me hyped though.
That's such a good number. Is that your lucky number?
All right, we got a jump shot comment back. Joel Embiid for
this is
ridiculous.
Oh my God. This might be rigged. This might be rigged.
It is rigged. You're an influencer, and
they knew he was going to bust
a nice little and one on Mitchell Robinson. That's how we do it right there. Let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum going.
We are talking tonight's 9-game DFS slate.
We got another Bam. These things come in the same exact moment, so we won't even. We'll show it again. Why
not? Jonas Valanciunas, game time decision. Sadiq Bey available to play. Bam still questionable. Continue.
All right, here we go. This is the last regular. Jackson Hayes. They had to do me like that.
Oh, he's not good. He's raw.
Oh, nice little jam though. All right, now this is the one we need here. Chop, I need to give me some good juju here.
I think Chop's secretly rooting against you.
All right, here's the metallic gold. Come on, baby. A Trey? Is it Trey? Trey Young, metallic gold. Bang.
Oh, that's a good one.
Bang.
What's the number?
I have no idea. It's 91 out of 499.
There you go.
Oh, 91.
Double digit.
That's a good one. Oh, 91. That's a good one.
Man, that was a hell of a pack. I'm not going to lie.
There you go. Congratulations. I have one that now I feel like I have to. But no. We're gonna power through. We're gonna talk about tonight's 9-game slate. Chopper. What else are we looking at? The Kings. There's no Halliburton. So all of a sudden, are we gonna start talking about the terrible Kings? I mean, terrible coach, terrible Kings. Hard to figure out their rotation sometimes. Your boy Buddy Hyde is not good. Buddy Hield is not good.
Whoa! You got to stop that slander right now.
He's not good. He's not good.
Yes, he has not been good this year. You know why he hasn't been as good this year?
It's the coach's fault, right? Duke Walton's fault.
I'm not even going to say that. No, I'm not. I'm going to give you a real fact. You know why he hasn't been as good this year as his previous Kings years, where he was actually a pretty consistent performer?
Is it Halliburton's fault?
Because this electric rookie Tyrese Halliburton was in the mix. Well, guess who's out tonight? This is your setup. There you go. I think this is a good Buddy. I think this is a good Buddy Hyde night because of that. I think he gets
the shots are going to be there. Let's hope he makes that first one. He's feeling good, gets that stroke going. But his price is right. You got to love the price and the usage. I thought they were going to actually start Halliburton tonight over him potentially because of the rumblings about changing lineups. But
Because he's the second best player on the team, if not the best, one day. But yeah, it's the Kings, so they're a disaster. I want a Bagley thought, because if you guys watched that game yesterday, he smashed in the first half. Second half, he got the third and fourth foul instantly. They kicked him to the bench, and because God forbid you foul out in the NBA, like it's the way you're fouling your own player out, but don't get me on that rant. And they bring him back with like a minute or two in the fourth quarter, and then they stumble for a minute, and then they yanked him again, and then they've got blown out, and like his whole second half got wrecked. There is no Whiteside, which is in theory adds to his minutes. Kirk Dees, can I go back to Bagley, because he was on a really good lineup I had last night. Me and a lot of people, actually. The secret chat was all over it. We all independently came up with the same one. But yeah, can I play Bagley tonight is my question.
Can you? Of course you can. This is a man that I've invested all my money in on Top Shots, and there's a reason behind it. This was a top pick, who's got athleticism, got skill. You know, he was been injured. He's getting healthy. He's back healthy. He's flashed some major upside recently. He's had some bad games. He's gotten foul trouble here and there, and that's always a risk. But he's got a nice matchup tonight where the Pistons are 23rd in DVP. I know you like the defense versus archetype, but I'm going to just say DVP here. Is there the Pistons are 23rd. They also, he may get some center run because with Whiteside still out, so they like to go with him at the 5 there. So there's minute upside with him, and this is a game that I want to be, get a lot of pieces of. Everyone's gonna be gravitating towards the De'Aaron Fox, but Bagley is certainly somebody that should be in your lineups tonight.
All right, let's take a look at who's popular as far as ownership. Gonna see if I can get some of your takes. We talked about Fox, Chopper, Gordon Hayward. This is DK specific for what it's worth. Gordon Hayward, we're seeing him popping at 36%. That price on DK just a little bit too juicy. Nice matchup there against Golden State. Just 6.7K. Perfectly fine on FanDuel too. I think it's a little bit better on DK. Freddie Van Vliet, more usage with the absence of Pascal. Worth paying for it, 8.3K. Chopper, tell me, are you interested in these guys? Do you have any hot takes as far as these guys? I'm kind of running down as far as our ownership stuff. OKC, we got Isaiah Roby. We presume he's going to jump back in the starting lineup there with the absence of old man Al Horford, who's resting on the front end. Who's popping for you amongst these names that I'm throwing out there? Anybody have any bold stances on? And I should say, I don't know how much you need it, but Bismack Biyombo, in theory, should play like 25 minutes or so here against Golden State. He's essentially the floor, 3.3 on DK. I think he's 3.5 in FanDuel. Probably more appealing on DK. We can run out more than one center, and the floor prices just kind of are more appealing on DK as well. But Washington could play the 5 as well. I don't know what to do with Bismack. I don't know how necessary he is, especially with value opening up. Chopper, who's worth talking about as far as all those names I threw out there?
Well, I guess they're all in the conversation, Dean. That's why they're higher. That's why they're higher on, man. But I would say out of those guys, the guy I can really try to fade and get away with it the most is Isaiah Roby. I'm not so sure that I'm not sold on him doing some of the same stuff he's done in previous games where Al Horford was out, because in previous games they've had like the whole lineup out at times, and so some of those numbers are a little bit inflated. I think he could be an all right play, but I'm not so sure I have to have him. The high number I'm seeing is Shai Gilgeous right now, and maybe that's just FanDuel because I'm looking at the FanDuel numbers. But yeah, that's the guy I really like tonight. So that's the guy I can't get away from. If you're asking me to choose with salary involved and ownership, Washington and Biyombo, I want PJ Washington over Biyombo. But, I've gotten burned by Bismack before having good games when I faded him. So it could happen, but feels like PJ's got a little bit more upside there. But those guys are more or less the ones you mentioned outside of Roby. I think you play it. This isn't football, man. Where you can fade that chalk and do it right. When they're chalky in basketball is usually for a reason.
Yeah, and usually if a player is distinctly cheaper on FanDuel than they are on DK, like SGA is fine at 8.8 on DK. A little bit of sticker shock there, but I think he's fine. But Kirk D's the 8K on FanDuel just seems really too good. Like he seems like a foundation piece for your cash games. And fade him at your own risk in tournaments. Of course you can. Any thoughts as far as those names I threw out there? How about Charlotte in general? And hey, if we're not talking about the player you guys want us to talk about, we're here for the next 18 minutes or so. Devin, our fabulous multitasking producer, he's been compiling questions throughout this entire show. Fire off some more questions. I will ask these guys for their opinions. Again, we're not ignoring certain players, just you can't talk about everybody. If you do, how is that even helpful? Because we mentioned everyone. Yeah, just tell me this. What tournament? Is it a tournament? Is it cash? Is it DK? Is it FanDuel? Hey, is it Yahoo? Kirk Dees will be all with that as well. We'll answer your questions, and Devin's going to start firing on my way momentarily. But yeah, your thoughts there, Kirk Dees, as far as the OKC stuff and Charlotte in general too. I think those are two of the teams we're kind of sort of looking at to some degree, with some of the, some players being absent, obviously.
Shea all day.
Yeah.
You have to like. I mean, so it's not only is he the most talented player and the facilitator on the team, and he has the, first of all, you're hoping this game stays competitive, but he's even in a blowout, he's going to be playing massive minutes in this one anyway. I feel pretty comfortable with that. The Hawks are 29th DVP versus the point guard position. They're playing faster. They've kicked it up recently. They're not playing as fast as they were last season, but they're playing faster recently, which is a good sign. And also it's, the two highest usage players behind him are out, Horford and Diallo. And I know Chop is huge on Diallo, but like, there's just not, he's going to have to do everything in this game, And so the guy that I like second best is not, first, it's not Maladon, it's for sure. Cause that guy just, he's going to have to get there with steals and blocks. It's not Lou Dort, who could be good, but I think it's just perfect. It's right for a guy like Baisley to step up and take a lot of shots here. I think he's just going to absolutely have to. So those are the two that I like the most.
Do want to mention before we turn it over to you guys and start asking your questions, the FanDuel single entry series is still going down, sponsored by RG. It's the $25 entry. I'm in that. Come at me. And also PrizePicks promo. Users get a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. Use the promo code Grinders. That's GRINDERS. We'll go ahead and drop that link in chat for you guys. And you guys have picked some winners for the people. Chopper, you go first. Give them some winners here on PrizePicks. And I'm not sure if they've changed the number, but I think yours, would get a bump because of the player you're picking and late news.
PrizePicks. Okay. I selected Fred VanVleet. Over. I think it was 42.5 points. Mm-hmm. We've got that was right when Siakam had the injury break. So, in sports betting, in some of these situations like that, you got to capitalize, man. Once you hear the news before lines can adjust. So you hear Siakam's out, somebody's got to benefit. One of them definitely could be VanVleet. So I like VanVleet in that game over that 42.5.
Kirk Dees?
My PrizePicks was over for Clint Capella. I think that he's in a great situation in this match against OKC. So the main benefit here is that OKC is without Al Horford, which is a huge difference when they're playing with Roby at the center, Muscala at the center, or Horford at the center. So I expect him to be able to just, get a ton of putbacks and also, easy dunks from being set up by Trey and whatnot. And also I think there's plenty of minutes upside. So he, obviously he didn't play many minutes in the Celtics blowout, but it was also the back-to-back. So you don't have to worry about the back-to-back this time. So I think, there's the potential for 35 plus minutes in this one. And I think he's going to smash if that's the case.
All right. Some questions from the chat. Do you guys want to, does anybody want like DK, or does anybody want FanDuel? Does anybody want tournament? Anybody want cash? What do you guys want to claim? Who wants what?
That should be pretty obvious, Dean. You give me FanDuel, give the guy that's nicknamed Kid Yahoo. And since I'm buried on DK, you can take DK.
Right. All right. You're trying to make a fetch happen with Kid Yahoo. We'll see if that goes down. I don't know anybody else that calls him that. I know he crushes there, but we shall move on.
You have to check the timeline. It's my timeline. It's Kid Yahoo all over that thing.
Kirk, you're going to do are you okay with doing DK as well? I don't know. I can do it, but so yeah.
But you want to do nothing, is what you're saying.
Well, I can ask the questions. I'm fine.
Gracious, dude.
I'm fine. I'll do whatever is needed. I'll step up.
I want the Tony Snell usage. I just wanted to stand in the corner and maybe ask a question every once in a while. Oh, first question is will Josh Jackson Josh Jackson, is this an old question? I believe. Oh, yeah, you know what? I just hear questions from a show a couple days ago, and I'm like, Jetty. I don't think Jetty's playing basketball tonight. All right, just as a general thought, Chopper. Cheap Toronto player benefits from Pascal Siakam being out.
Wow. It's, the guys we've mentioned, I don't think you need to go cheap. If you consider Boucher the cheapest one out of them, then Boucher, but I'm not like stretching for another guy off the bench. The guys who are already in the rotation are plenty fine enough.
Yeah, that's kind of sort of where I'm at as well too. This is like, how much for Chop to take off the hat? Is that this is what they're asking, Chopper?
It's not
like,
happening.
You don't need money.
No, I definitely don't need money. I don't. You know, maybe one day it'll happen. It'd have to be the summertime when I had some sun exposure. Because right now I'm looking a lot like Dan Bach with the whole powder thing going on. So I gotta have some sun on the head. Maybe I'll do it, but it definitely won't be for money because I don't need money.
Legit is asking about. Well, he's got a 2v2. We'll talk about it in a second. But he also says Gallinari is also already in the lineup. I don't think I'm chasing Gallinari. I mean, as of right now, that's not the plan. I don't think he's going to go 10 of 12 from 3 or whatever he was last game, which is absolutely ridiculous, and good for him to finally have a good game. But I don't think I'm chasing that. I haven't made my lineups yet. Again, weird things might happen, but the plan is not to play Gallinari. Curtis, are we playing Gallinari? It feels like a chase to me.
A little bit of a revenge game going on, though.
What is his vengeance? Is he a vengeful guy?
I don't know, but he came out of the. I mean, man, he gave it to my Celtics the other night, and I was.
Well, who doesn't?
The Celtics are just horrible, but
why do think so bad?
I'll tell you why they're so bad. So everyone thinks Brad is like the ultimate. I think he's, dare I say, a little bit overrated. But so they need three players. They can't be playing staggered with Tatum and Brown because it's so easy to lock it and make those guys take bad shots when they're the only one and playing with a bunch of scrubs. So Kemba is the piece that really at least makes them play somewhat good, especially if he's playing well. But they need to have, because without Marcus Smart there too, that's also a big loss. They need to have at least Kemba and or Jalen and Tatum at all times. They need 2 of those 3. In order to have any sort of scoring opportunity. And also they got to get rid of that double big lineup, which is just atrocious. It's just not working. Let me ask you, Brad is stubborn. He's stubborn.
Are you targeting Brown or Tatum or even Sabonis, who's at an all-time high as far as his price? All-Star game not today because Durant had to step aside. Congratulations to him, and he deserves it. He's been fabulous, but it's really hard to justify that price. But he's been doing it. I'm mostly ignoring that game. At least that is the plan right now. Is that wrong or is that correct, Curtis? Indiana, Boston.
No, it's correct. I wouldn't be shocked if Tatum has a massive game. One of those guys, because I expect them to come out and play well. But the guy I think that has to put it on his shoulders and really, show some leadership to this team, and although it will be in just 30 minutes, is Kemba. So Kemba's I think that Kemba shows up tonight. And I don't think people are going to be playing much of them.
Chopper, these two, and I'll tell you, I don't really love either one. This is on DK for what it's worth, but actually, Buddy Hield and Thad Young. I'm not interested in the Bulls at all tonight. I don't think that's not the plan. So Hield and Young versus another Bull, Williams and Josh Jackson for Detroit.
With a scenario like that, I want to chase the best player of the 4. Go with that side because it's relatively close and you got some really bad players in there. So I'm gonna go Buddy Hield side.
He might actually be the best player of those 4.
That's why I'm choosing him, buddy.
I was thinking, I'm like, who is the best player amongst those 4? But I guess it's Hield. All right, Chop. This is FanDuel single entry. Do you prefer Kuzma or Covington? 2 guys I'm probably not playing.
I'm probably not playing either one of them. But if I have to choose between them, it's going to be Kuzma.
If Bam is out, does Butler become the best dollar for dollar stud on the slate? I don't think so. No, I mean, I think SGA is still a better dollar for dollar stud. I think Fox is a better dollar for dollar stud. Butler's been fabulous. He's been awesome. And he will get a bump. Of course, not a great matchup either. And last we looked, I assume Bam is still questionable at this point. Is that correct, guys?
I mean, yeah. I haven't seen him ruled out yet, or ruled in. So I guess we're
Reddish officially ruled out for what it's worth. We have Halliburton officially ruled out. Fox, Hield, Barnes, Bagley, Holmes. No surprises there for the Sacramento lineup. Do you think Butler's a great play? I mean, he's a fine tournament play for sure. But Curtis, is he somebody you get to if Bam is out?
I don't have a problem with it. It's a tough matchup for sure. But if they're in this one, it's the price is up there. But I mean, this is a guy who's flashed 60-point upside several times this season, and this is a good a good usage spot. Just hoping they can keep it tight. It's just the Jazz are tough, man. So he's going to have a tough time attacking the hoop against Gobert. He's not known to light it up from the 3-point line, but so I'm a little worried about ceiling, but I like it for GPPs.
We were talking about SGA. I saw a tweet over today from Gallagher, and he said that SGA is leading the league in drives per game. I think it's by 2 more than anybody else. If there's, and we talked about the usage of him today, and obviously that team is thin, and they're facing Atlanta. And, I guess Capella is a bit of a kind of sort of rim protector, if you want to say that. But otherwise, Atlanta's a great team to attack. So just one more reason to play SGA tonight. Chris Paul or LaMelo, it doesn't specify what site. I will say LaMelo is a really good play on FanDuel. Not as strong on DK. Is that where you're at, Chopper? If you're playing FanDuel tonight, LaMelo it's pretty sweet as far as his price.
If I'm playing FanDuel here, I'm looking at 76 and 75. It's a no-brainer. I go LaMelo at only $100 difference.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well, too. Let's see. FanDuel single entry series. Is Washington, Ball, and Hayward too many Charlotte? So can you have 3 Charlotte players, Chopper, and your single entry series, Hayward, Ball, and Washington, all 3 individually good plays? Can you play all 3? Can all 3 get there?
Sure. I usually don't like it. It doesn't feel good, but it happens every night. A 3-man, you just need a little bit extra. You just need a little bit of pace in that game. Maybe you get lucky, hit overtime, but the key there is that you got some injuries that are helping you boost some of those projections up at a cheaper salary. So yeah, you could play 3 of them.
Yeah, 9 bodies. We haven't mentioned Rozier, but Rozier's got a really good price on FanDuel. I think he's 7K over there, 8.4 on DK, which is hard to get to, hard to justify. But I like that FanDuel price on Terry Rozier. 9 dudes we're seeing on Charlotte, and that includes one of the Martin twins, Jalen McDaniels. Malik Monk can be a pest, man. Because I don't play him. I don't play the guys that just could score 25 points or do nothing else. But if he does get hot, that might kick Washington out of the rotation as far as the closing rotation. I don't know if Biyombo's going to close or not. Maybe Washington plays the 5 against Draymond. That's something that can certainly happen there. But Charlotte, nice matchup, obviously, against Golden State as well. Chopper, we're sticking with FanDuel, Oubre or Hayward for tournaments.
Oubre or Hayward. Okay, we're dealing with tournaments, and I'm seeing the price tag or the Oubre. I mean, for tournaments, I've almost got to go Oubre. If you're just strictly just on a game theory standpoint, I'm seeing one guy at almost 30% ownership and one guy going to be maybe sub 5% ownership. And there's like a 3.5 to 4 point gap in the projection, which is not that much considering that ownership gap. For tournaments, just strictly on the basis of that, you want to go Oubre. It feels better to take Hayward because he's in a good matchup and he's a good player, but yeah, for tournaments, I think Oubre is the answer there.
I'm seeing Temple or Batum and Cash, FanDuel Cash. And I can't imagine playing either one. I'm trying to find an appropriate swap that's a similar price. I mean, maybe Daniel House if you have to stick in that price. I don't necessarily want Daniel House when Houston's fully healthy, with the exception of Wood, but it's not that much more. $800 more for OG Anunoby, who's got his minutes really, really solidified. Obviously, you got to do a 2v2 or something like that, but Chop, you wouldn't feel comfortable playing either one of those players in cash, would you? The ones he's talking about, Temple and Batum?
No interest in either one of those guys tonight.
Yeah. All right. More questions filing on through. Are we paying 10K for Trey tonight? FanDuel's all the FanDuel questions are choppy. Talk about no usage. We got Tony Snell over there. Let's stop calling him Kid Top Shot or Kid Yahoo. He's Kid Tony Snell. The Kirk D's is chilling. So would you pay 10K for Trey Young tonight, Chopper? FanDuel.
Yeah, I mean, you could, if you're running some multiple lineups, sure. He's not my first choice at point guard. In fact, there's a long list of guys in front of him. But he's in tournaments. Yeah, absolutely, you could play the guy.
Yeah, we actually have a question for a Yahoo specific question here for Kirk D's. All right, Tony Snell's going to take a 3. If you're playing multiple lineups here on Yahoo, are you okay just locking in Boucher at 100%? As well as going back to Harry Barnes. Harry Barnes, I think it's $19 over there. Good price.
So the correct answer is that you should probably diversify if you're for the max entry, and especially when there's some unknown variables here, like with Baines minutes, with the coach and how they're going to play. But the way that my style is, when I love a play, like I love Boucher tonight, I will just lock him in and just YOLO it. And I'll diversify otherwhere. And if I go down with the ship, then I go down with it, but at least I have conviction in my play. So I have no problem locking in Boucher tonight. But just know that the correct way is probably to just get a lot more of the lower owned guys.
Just walking back for a second, as far as Young on FanDuel, the tricky part is like Fox is really well positioned. We talk about Ball is a really good price over there. Even Lillard, a similar price as Young. You know, get the hammer there against the Lakers. Lakers defense obviously not nearly as good without Davis. It feels like a smaller slate than it actually is as far as number of games. They're asking about Paul George in a bounce back game, Chopper. I don't think I'm playing any Clippers. Like I don't. That's not the plan. At least it's when both those guys, when him and Kawhi are both playing, and they play a bunch of dudes. That's why I have no interest in Batum. It's like they're not playing for me. What say you? We haven't talked about him. Is that right?
I think you're overlooking them a little bit. You know, 9 games, a lot of players. We've talked about Buddy Hyde at this position, Fred VanVleet getting a bump tonight, a little bit of Norman Powell we talked about. So there's guys, SGA's a shooting guard. So there's a lot of guys in front of him. But, you know, when those two guys are healthy for the Clippers, they are a very dominant 1-2 as far as usage and scoring fantasy points for your team. In fact, you may not find a bigger drop off. Maybe the Lakers, you know, between the first 2 guys and then the rest of the team. So he's going to get and it's on the road. Memphis shouldn't have a big defensive challenge. In fact, taking page out of Kirk's DVP book, my influx adjusted DVP has the Memphis against shooting guards as the 28th worst team in the league. So take that for what it's worth, but I think Paul George is in a pretty good spot. And if this game stays competitive, I think he could put up some good numbers.
We got to go in just a minute. We're going to set up a crunch time, of course, with Kevin Roth, Mr. Tuttle, and Andy Means to take you guys all up the lock. Hit the like button, subscribe to our notifications. Boucher is starting. Kirk Dees, your thought as far as Smith and Saban Lee, do we mess with either one of those as far as that Detroit rotation? They're both going to play 25 minutes, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily true. Maybe that's true, but I think Saban is my play. The coach came out after Casey, who you never know if anything he says is true or not, said that he was concerned about the back-to-back with Saban's minutes, but really talked up Saban and how great Saban's been. And Saban has been the guy that looks Dennis Smith is not good. I don't know if it's a confidence issue with him or not, but I would go Saban. And
he's the Marvin Bagley of point guards, the Buddy Hield of a point guard. Yeah. All right. We got to go. I don't know where I was going with that. I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off, but Devin's going to get out of here because we got to set up the next show for premium. Again, hit the like button, subscribe. You guys want to get premium, $10 off the first month. That will be dropped in chat. You guys can get it a la carte, just one sport, just basketball, all the sports. Yeah.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I just want to say that this was an awesome show. I'm so glad that Chop came on. Headgiver, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. I hope we do more shows. Like if people like the show, tell us you like the show.
We're kicked off YouTube. Chop,
this is every day for me, Dean. I have to put up with everything. I just put my head down
to that Discord.
I just put my head down and act like I don't even hear it. It's okay.
That was Chopper. That was Kirk Dees. Thank you, Devin, for producing. Thank you, everybody that was asking questions. Do appreciate that mix too. The show much more enjoyable, much more entertaining. All right, hit like button. We're out of here. That was basketball. Holler!